All right, here we go. Finally getting around to filming a second video. I have been doing things on the way home more often than not, which has been keeping me away from the camera on the way home, which essentially is keeping me from having to or recording videos the second time around, which is obviously not good because that means I'm falling behind on videos. I don't think I'm actually falling behind on videos. I started well enough ahead of schedule that I think I'm good, but I do feel like if I keep this up, I will eventually fall back on it again. Trying to think of a different way to phrase it or to word it so that it makes a little bit better sense. But essentially, the amount... Someone's calling me. I don't know where my phone is. I can hear it clear as day. I don't know where it is, so it's going to have to wait. Did it fall? Oh, it's right there. Dude. Hello, it's Layla again. Who orders the track course stuff? I do primarily. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And... Sure. I mean, I've just been ordering it as it's been used, so I can look at it, but I just order it based on usage. They wanted more 30s. Oh, well. Yeah. Alright, I'll take a look-see at it. Alright, yep, thank you. Bye. Lovely work stuff. People are losing their minds. This is slowly but surely creeping into one of those jobs where there is no getting away. And that's getting old really fast. No job is worth consuming all of your time. And for the most part, I feel like I'm pretty good at balancing. But it just seems like here recently, I hear sirens behind me, so I'm trying to figure out where they're coming from. I just feel like here recently, like every day they're saying or losing their minds about something. There's the ambulance. It's in front of me, not behind me. I am directionally challenged. They're doing the most. Somebody's having a bad day. It's always what I would say when I see an ambulance with sirens doing its thing. Somebody's having a bad day. Because, I mean, that's, I believe, a accurate thing to say. And it makes you appreciative of the fact that you or an immediate loved one doesn't have to be rushed off in an ambulance right now. And so for that, I am forever thankful. But yeah, derailed my conversation here. The DBM. I'll have to look into that and try and figure out what's going on there. But yeah, it's a whole lot of lovely stuff and just holding out until something better comes along and then jumping on that. I'm really hoping that Compression Man can be my saving grace here and get me some attention that is much deserved and strongly desired. If episode 3 is truly done by the time this weekend rolls around, I can get that out and then get started on episode 4 and just keep plugging along there. Hopefully we can get to a good place and I can succeed. I feel like a broken record on these most recent episodes because I'm just kind of talking about the same stuff. Especially, like I said, I always say this too, like when I'm on my way home, I don't have the immediate thought process of something in my head to be like, oh, that's what I'm doing, or this is what I'm doing, or whatever. So I'm hoping that I can get somewhere and just, like I said, every time I'm on these vacations and I feel like what it could be like to just work from home and be one of those people, it becomes incredibly tempting, and then you have to go back to work and deal with the stresses and unfortunates of work. And I don't want to seem ungrateful because I am in a great place, but it is very stressful work that I do. And I feel like I can confidently say that not everybody can handle that kind of work. And so it does make me feel good to know that I can handle it. I've been handling it now for a year, and I'm kind of over the whole thing. But hopefully, I keep saying one of these days we'll get to a point where it all settles down and you can look back and be like, wow, that's really, we went from here to here. And there are times where I can do that now. I can look back at where we were and be like, wow, we have come very far. There's also days where I feel like we're stepping backwards and losing grounds. So, we'll see what happens there. But, we got an ambulance coming. It's kind of halted. It's another one. Yeah, so I'm hoping that we can land somewhere good. Compression Man episode 2 comes out this Friday. I'll be using the proprietary YouTube Boost feature to see what I can get out of that. And it's kind of sad to say, but I feel like the strategy I've chosen on YouTube is a pay-to-win strategy, and hoping that it actually succeeds. The book thing, I'll probably never stop writing books. That's a passion of mine. But I think I will start pursuing it a little less seriously in favor of pursuing Compression Man. I think that Compression Man is just far more absorbable by a mainstream audience than books are. And like, I've gotten pretty serious about doing the whole audiobook thing, and maybe that's another avenue by which I can expand my horizons. But right now, I'm just very anxiously awaiting everything. And so hopefully we can reach a point of great success, and I can record these videos and be someone that the world cares to hear about and wants to hear rant and ramble for hours on end. And I've said it before, but I think even when I reach my goal of 365, I'll probably just keep doing it because there's no reason not to. It's nice to have this kind of running journal. It also is a bit upsetting because it's like this isn't the kind of content that I would ever go back and watch. Like, I don't ever think that I'll only have 24 minutes left on this SD cam. That should get me home, but I should probably offload some of this content when I get home. But I don't ever foresee myself going back and watching this. Like, I've watched several episodes of Compression Man and enjoyed several episodes of Compression Man, but I don't get that same kind of enjoyment out of watching these, and it helps, or it causes me to kind of reflect on my content as a whole. It's like, if I don't really enjoy it all that much, then is it worth even making? And someone might say that something that is being made is worth making, if that makes any sense at all. Like, anything is worth making and putting it out there, because you never know what your thing is going to be. And there's videos, plenty of videos on the internet that I feel like get an insane amount of views, and I am just like, why? This is Bologna. And so hopefully my channel is something like that. A large pool of people think that it's just a bunch of Bologna, and I get to be the niche group of people who find it and actually find it to be fruitful. But it's interesting to observe and to go about and think about these things one way or the other, either way. I got a gym day done today. I feel like my gym days are shrinking in time. I go there and I usually am done within like 30 minutes. I feel like I do decent work while I'm there, but I also feel like there's no way that I can get like significant progress done in 30 minutes. And a lot of it is just like me not wanting to wait for machines, like the machines that I want. This happens a lot on leg day. The machines I want are all occupied, and so I do what I can with the machines that are open, and then I wind up leaving, because I'm not just going to stand there and do nothing. My time is precious, especially immediately after work like that, and all I really want to do is go home and eat. And so I'll do with that time what I can, and then I'm going to move on with my day when things start to freeze or dry up. And so we'll see from there what happens, and hopefully we can continue to plug along. And yeah, that's all I've got on that matter. This is, I feel like, a largely uneventful and directionless video. I had a topic that I wanted to talk about because it was something that was on my mind and has been on my mind for a while, but I'm not sure that I want to share that with the internet just yet. And so I'm keeping that under wraps, but what that unfortunately means is you guys now have to deal with 20 minutes of me just insatiably rambling to the camera, hoping that something sticks and that I find a topic that I can talk about for longer than 20 minutes. Or no, longer than 20 minutes. 20 minutes is the entirety of my drive, and I need to find a topic that I can talk about longer than 2 minutes, because 2 minutes is really all the time I've got. And so hopefully we can get to a point, get to a place that is better than the point and or place that we are at. And yeah, that's kind of where I stand. I have a lot going on, and I continue to hope to have a lot going on. I don't ever want that to stop and or dry up, but I do want to be able to appreciate all that I've got going on, all that I have going on, all that fun and awesome stuff. And hopefully when it's all said and done, I can look back and be like, wow, like, look at where you have come. It's the same kind of concept I have with my work, in that I adopted this broken disaster department, and I want to be able to look back one day and be like, wow, look at how far you've become, or you've come. And I want to be able to do the same with the work that I have here, or my creative work. And like I said, the ultimate goal is to be able to live off of the creative work and to not have to work for a living, so to speak. But it is interesting to observe the idea that work can at some point in time appear to be, or play, or whatever you want to call it, can appear or become work. Dylan Minetti, I feel like that's how you say his last name, I don't really know, but he played in TV show 13 Reasons Why. He was the main character, Clay, and he's also in the band The Wallows, which is a pretty good band. I went through a spell of not liking the guy because I didn't like his character on 13 Reasons Why, and it just caused me to just dislike the actor entirely, which I get is irrational and silly, but it's how my mind works. And so I was really reluctant to get into his band for a good while. And I can remember the song These Days came out, and I want to say it was in 2018 or so. And I can remember the day it came out, and I can remember watching the video and just being like, ugh, I don't like him, he's lame in that TV show. And then probably never listening to the song again. And then just at the end of last year, probably somewhere around then, I ran into the song again and I listened to it, and it was weird because it teleported me right back to that day in 2018 when I had very first seen the video. And now, of course, it's got the power of nostalgia behind it, and I haven't kept up with 13 Reasons Why in a very long time, and so I can move past the crappy character that he played and just be happy with the music that he puts out. But he's been doing a lot of interviews lately because their band just came out with a new album. And one of the interviews, people were asking him if he would ever go back to acting, or like whatever happened to acting. And he said that acting for him started to feel like a job. And that is why he has largely stayed away from it, because he doesn't want, I mean, no one does. No one wants to have a job or some sort of obligation that they would rather be doing something else. And so for him, he was like, the TV show started to feel like a job. And so I was pretty happy when it was done, and I don't know that I'll go back. I'm still having fun making music and doing stuff with the band, and that's still fun for me. And so because of that, it kind of made me stop and think, and like, I could see how having like most people dream of acting in a TV show and things of that nature, and being able to hold on to that dreamlike state, I imagine it would be very difficult when something becomes mundane to you. You become numb to it. It's human nature. Like, the excitement factor will wear off, and it's like, how do you get psyched up for something like that again? How do you not view that as a job? I think about like the actors who played in The Big Bang Theory. Now, like, they were making incredible money for a TV show. They were making at some point in time like $1 million an episode. It's ridiculous money. And as a result, the series was incredibly successful. They did it for like 11 years. And I was like, that's quite the stretch. Like, I can't help but wonder if those actors started to feel the same way. Like, ugh, this is just a job. Every whatever, we get together, we film our episodes, we leave. Like, I'm sure there's the same kind of work stress there that happens anywhere else. Now, granted, making $1 million an episode is insane, and like after one season, you'd never have to work again, and that's really cool. But I mean, you still did something for 11 years, and that, I think, is an important thing for people to realize. Like, it's gonna feel like a job if you go in there and film stuff for 11 years. Like, I don't know that there's any way to retain the special feeling that that comes of like your first TV show. Like, I remember reading stories and watching stories about Jeff Parsons when he first saw himself on a billboard, when he first experienced that, and he first experienced this, and it's all very exciting and it makes you warm and fuzzy inside. But like I said, there's bound to be a time where it just becomes routine, and I'm worried that if I reach the point of popularity that I want to reach with my creative stuff, will it lose its spice because it feels just like a job at that point? And how do I avoid that from happening? And I think variety is key if I keep my projects versatile and just work on what I want to work on and have the freedom to be able to work on what I want to work on. Then I think that would go a long ways for me. And so hopefully I can do what I need to do and get where I need to go. And because I just dream of the day, like, because I am in such a good place with my job, like, how amazing would it be to be able to be like, you know what, I'm making cartoons now for a living, see you later. And would feel good. Like, that would feel good for anybody in any position, I'm sure. But for someone who's like climbed the corporate ladder and made it pretty high up there, it would feel pretty incredible to be like, yeah, you know, I think I'm good. I think so. And that would be an absolute blast. And I just hope to gosh that I can do that. And that day is gonna feel good. And it starts here, 2024, Compression Man episode 2. And we're gonna keep on plugging away, and every time I push out a Compression Man, I'm gonna do an ad campaign, and I'll promote all the episodes, and I'll promote them weekly or monthly or however frequently I need to promote them, so that I start to gain an audience, and I start to gain followers, and I start to gain people who care about the product. And that will be exciting. And hopefully not too far off from reality, because nothing is worse than coming to terms with reality and reality not being something that's necessarily on your side. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what becomes of everything. And yeah, I just really want to be able to get this done and do what I gotta do. I've pulled into my drive. Wish me luck. Thanks for stopping by. You have a good one.